So yesterday we took a day off, but today we are back again and we will be studying and doing CP for 3 hours or until I get tired. The goal is to do at least. You are given a string S of length n consisting of characters A and or B. Let AB be the number of occurrences of string AB in S as a substring. Analogically, BA is the number of occurrences of BA in S as a substring. In one step, you can choose any index 1 and replace SI with character A or B. What is the minimum number of steps you need to make to achieve AB of S equals to BA of S? For each test case, present the result string with AB of S equals to P of S. You will get the minimum number of steps. Hmm. So actually, all the test cases are passed and it is working. So let's try and actually submit our code. Let's say 1600 right? Mm, 6. I really want to do this something. So why is there a DLE like uh, T is at max 1000 and S is less than 100. So 100 into 1000 is 10 to the power 5. Now in my loop I have done while T minus minus and then inside it's while A of B is greater than B of A. Is there a case in which these values Never get. Y, y is less than n, and y is less than n minus 1 probably. No, and then I will have to also yeah, and n if n I is equal to n minus 1, or because if it's n minus 1, then that means that I is the last character of S. In that case, there won't be any S of I plus 1. I actually was thinking of doing just n minus 1 in the above case, but that won't work because I also want to see if I can change the last character. Now it should work. Uh, why is there a TLE? I'm still not. There will be a TLE. So a TLE once again. So I think I need to change my approach for this question. Like this approach is clearly not working. I need to change it, right? Yeah, there is still a TLE, so I'm doing something clearly wrong. I'm doing something clearly wrong here. The questions either. First of all, my algorithm is not slow. Fuck you, ChatGPT. My algorithm is not slow. And how can there? Oh fuck! I'm not even. Oh shit! Yeah. Oh wow. How was it even working? Like if I've never changed I'm such a dumb human being. Like yeah, duh. I never even changed. Like I now it should work. Oh, so luckily all fuck you. So luckily in all the test cases which were present here in this the given test cases, like they will pass because in all of them we were getting the right answer after changing the first digit itself. So that's why my answer was correct, was getting correct. It's not because it was actually correct, it was a fluke. Now the problem is I still don't know if this will work or not, first of all. And if it doesn't work, then that will be my third mistake of like the same problem, which is kind of like dumb. Let's try one more. And if this doesn't work, then obviously my algorithm is far too big to be actually the correct answer. That much I also know myself. But I believe that there is some sort of uh, like the idea is correct. I believe it's got submitted by. It always gets a daily on the test two, and now it's stuck on test one. So will there be a wrong answer on test one itself? If it goes past like test three, test four, test five, then most of the time it's done. But since it's getting like the answer is coming back too slow, I'm predicting there will be a daily fuck you. It was 200,000 2000 milliseconds. So it's wrong. But But just to avoid this, I added a particular condition, right? That always check if the previous character is not equal to the other character for which we are decreasing this string's value. Like I have already like put a test check there, right? In case if it's like ABA and we are decreasing the value of BA, then it won't execute like that part of the problem. Like that beep won't change because simply because I have added a check there. So won't it work out? So the beautiful observation is for every string AB minus BA can only be 1 0 minus Y. If the first and last characters are the same, then AB is equal to BA. If the string starts with A and ends with B, AB equals to B plus A. If the string starts with B and ends with A, it's BA equals to AB plus 1. That means you never need to count AB and fuck you, bhai. Fuck you. If S dot front is not equal to S of back, then S dot front is equal to S of back. That's why my code was working. That means you are only changing an A that looks one of these or this or at the beginning. So you're trying to ensure you don't accidentally destroy a BA. That's good. Let's test. In you mentioned in ABA, my condition would let me change the middle context. S of I is equal to is already false. Squeeze for your food and touch it, even if you and other branch of previous character check would prevent changing character that written. So that particular code doesn't apply to you. You're out of question, but the algorithm still isn't correct. The real issue is different. Whenever AB is greater than, I can always find one of these safe A's to flip. I can always find one of these safe A's. But I can obviously, right? AB is B, AB, AB, B, AB. So like AB is 2 and your code enters the AB is 2. And now let's search the A satisfying. A and B need true. Also true. So you change it, the string becomes BB, Now ABAB, this actually works. So fuck you. Meta counter example. ABAB already not useful. A balance still not. The important point is actually your approach is trying to edit the interior of the string, the official solution. But that doesn't mean that my solution is wrong, right? If my solution is still able to solve the problem, then that doesn't mean that my solution is wrong just because it's different, right? Just because my solution doesn't get the intended solution is not the intended solution doesn't mean that it's wrong, right? Doesn't mean that. So uh, after writing I plus plus in both the if while statements, I still got a TLE. So I'm actually curious to know that why there was a TLE. Can you see the constraints and then check my code to make me understand that why was there even a TLE? Like I'm getting that it was not the intended solution, but still it was a solution. And if it's able to solve the problem, even if it's lengthy and it's not having the same observation which the solution or the problem intended, still it should work, right? If it's causing a tail in, then that means that I've broken the constraint somewhere and I'm not able to understand where. So can you help me just figure out that where I was wrong? Oh yeah, this should outside, right? Plus for every case there should be an I plus plus. I'm either dumb, I'm like too dumb of a human being. Like CP is for some people who have like some level of common sense, and I am just like one of those few people who just don't see what they are doing most of the time and do dumb mistakes. So this is the last time I'm submitting my own solution because like getting four TLEs in for just a solution is not good, right? Let me get the feeling of that I solved it on my own. Like the concept was correct at least. Please, this one should get at it should work right. and it should successfully fulfill. Even it should all work on all conditions. I'm sure that I fuck you. So there is a wrong answer as well. So yeah, it's wrong. Now there is nothing we can do. There is nothing we can do. Like ChatGPT is at this point not able to even come up with case case which makes my solution fail. Like that's the problem with Codeforces. It should actually tell me like on which test case my code failed, so I at least know that this is the question for which my test case failed. But so this was the intended solution. The difference should be AB minus BA, right? Whenever you walk through the string, every transition contributes AB. Uh, Totally depends only on first and the last characters. If first is equal to last, difference is zero. First is A, last is B, difference is one. First is B, last is A, difference is minus one. The middle of the string doesn't matter. We're trying to reduce A bit or BA, but the quantity you are changing is in local property. It's a global invariant determined solely by the endpoints. So ChatGPT is saying that this will perform a WA not a TLE, which it did perform a WA not a TLE. So like great for you, ChatGPT. I get it. People on Codeforces are just weird, and I'm one of those weirdos. So the intended solution is uh, first remove all this redundant code. If even this code is not needed. If s dot front is not equal to s dot back, then no, this shouldn't. Like, Dot front should be equal to s dot back. Yeah. Oh yeah, if the condition is like one greater than what it should be intended, then if you just change it, then nothing will change, and uh, it will work. Like the first and the last characters, if they are equal, then the ABBA strings will have same like number of occurrences. It's annoying how simple of a solution it had. Like just this was the solution, and I was doing what not. Like now, why is this not working? If AB, 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 and they wanted to do last, but even this will work, right? I'm actually scared to write. Because if this fails, then it will be like. So finally, we were able to solve the problem. Ah, hi man. So we were indeed able to actually see the problem and understand it. This problem basically asked, like there was one major observation which needed to be had was that AB equals to BA, it will like all if the first and the last characters of the string S are equal, then AB will be equal to BA, and AB is the the substring containing characters AB, and BA is the substring containing characters BA, and the number of AB and BA will be equal. And for example, in cases like if A is the first character and B is the last, then AB will be greater by 1. Why? Because like the first occurrence will go to AB, and AB. If for example, then it will be AB and then BA, AB, BA. So that's the case. And if B is like for it's the is the first character in S, then BA will be greater. And provided that the last character is A and not B itself. So then we just have to change and make the last two characters equal so that this condition still holds true. Bro, I I was like once like you. I'm not gonna lie. Like my there was a friend of mine. He is in triple IT like now, and he just told me like I used to solve lead code problems, and he used to always say to me that competitive programming was far superior than lead code. And one day I just tried randomly a CF problem, and I was staring at that question for 45 minutes, unable to even understand what that means. So I get you. Like I get you. And you might think that I am like special, but I will show you my lead code profile. Like I have been I struggle so much even now after that, like even after solving 275 questions on lead code, I still struggle like on 900 problems on CF. So like what can I say? Either I'm also like too dumb or we are all learning. Obviously, if you just keep on learning and keep showing up, then it will start to you will start to improve. Just like I am, like as usual, start from the 800s, 800 dated problems. Like there was one friend of mine who actually started from rated 1000, and in just a couple of weeks, his rating has gone up around 1400. So he's already a specialist, and here I am. So that there's definitely a difference in people's IQ, and if you feel that you are not able to solve the question, then just lower the quality of questions you are doing and do more of them. Eventually, you will be able to understand those lower rated questions and then just slowly increase. And I think this resource is really great. Like that smart friend of mine told me, this is solved, to use this sheet CP31. It's 31 problems from each rating, from 800, 900,000. And if you don't want to go the lead code route, which I went through before starting code forces, then you should try solving code chef from till 1200 rated problems and then go to code forces. Like my friend from Triple IT Lucknow, he actually first solved code chef till 1200 rated problems and then he switched to code forces. So he was also not smart. He just worked a lot. And I went through the lead code route and I first solved a bunch of lead code and then I eventually transitioned to code forces. So yeah, that's what you can do if you think that you can't even understand the question. Everyone goes through that. Don't think yourself as slow or anything. Most of us have the ability to actually get good at anything we want to be good at. We just don't put in the reps we need. Like even now, I've only solved around 50 questions on code forces, so it's not much. And when you see the top 1% of the code forces solvers, the grandmasters, they have in most cases they have solved around 3,000 to 4,000 problems. So you can see the vast difference between the sheer volume which they did and which I have done. And you can just compare that with even your own self. Like how much problems have you actually done? And yeah, so I'm gonna return back. And you should work. If you really like CP, then just keep on working. Like it's the cliche advice of just stay consistent. Like there is also a guy named Pudishit on YouTube, and he once like one person asked him on stream that how do I get better on CP, and he just said that it's a cliche advice that just stay consistent. And I was one of those dumb people who was watching the stream, uh, uh, banging my head in the world that I wasn't able to solve lead code. Just the second question of a lead code contest. Yeah, he actually got a lot better in just 1 year. But like we don't know his past. Like he might have been actually really focused on maths before starting CP. Like he might have studied for J level maths, and that actually gives him a bit of edge, right? Whenever you do something which has already developed your brain a lot. So that also might be a reason because that there's a reason why people in in IITs do well later on in life because they have developed their IQ and they have developed their thinking ability, their focusing ability for that 1 year to 2 year period, sitting 10-hour days every day. So there's a reason. There, like that also plays a part. I am actually studying in a tier 3 college. It's highly traumatic. I will be starting my second year after the breaks. And so I thought, bro, tier 3 colleges are just full of trauma and shit. Why? Like, I was trying for a IIT, and I was one of those dumb people who thought that it didn't matter whichever college you went to because the courses stays the same, right? And that was one of the worst mistakes I made in my life, just assuming that that was the case. And I'm not one of those people who weren't able to get selected because of my laziness. Like I was fairly disciplined and I was studying a lot, but I always had this at the back of my mind that it doesn't really matter whichever college you go to, you still study the same things. But it does matter actually. And now I do feel that I should have actually studied and cracked an IIT because I like this is something of a regret of mine that I believed that if I just studied and really focused on it, I would have been able to clear the exam. It's not about that I didn't went to an IIT and now my life is it will always be shit. Like that's not the case. But there is a part of me that always feels that I could have had that achievement also in my resume, that I cracked world's second most toughest exam. That could have also been, and it would have grown me in ways I never intended. So now so now I just try to think about the future, that if right now, if I can go back in time and I could go back in the 12th class on my drop year, I would say just fucking study. So I try to put myself in fourth year Neer Agrawal's shoes and think like what he will, if he could see my life right now, what will he tell me to do? And then I try to reason from there that keep doing CP, keep doing CP, keep doing CP, learn a skill, and work hard on something which you think is meaningful. So that's what I do. Like it's a great framework to think that what your future self will tell you if he could see your life right now. And you can most of the time you can guess that what he will say because you already know your own mistakes and your own follies, that you know that you shouldn't watch porn. But even if you do, or you know that you shouldn't play so much, even you know that you should study. So these are the things, right? Actually look kind of hot. Like the mewing is actually working. Oh, so you are in class, you are in which grade? Like you are in which year? And even if you think that you don't have time, still work. Like you still like you should do. Right? That's traumatic. That's actually traumatic, you know? Like, but that's your own problem as well. Like I won't sugarcoat it. I failed JEE because of my own problems, my own issues, and you will, I won't say that you won't have as great of a starting package as you could have gotten if you started earlier, but there's still chance, by like I was watching a Harikrat Singh video, in which one of the students was in a fairly low paying job, like 8 lakhs per annum, and he decided to change his life. And like he had already graduated from college, and then he joined like Harikrat's program and worked a lot, and he eventually got a 55 lakh package. So don't be heartbroken. Just think that you wasted your life, you wasted your time in college, and then just work hard. Like there's a great classic Alex Hormozzi quote that you work from 9 to 5 for your present, and then you work from 5 to 9 for your future. That's the kind of approach you need to have. Obviously, won't have as much of time as a person like me, as someone who has, like I am relatively free when I would compare myself to you, right? So just think that okay, I have to work for 7 to 8 hours on a particular job, a particularly low paying job if I can't get high one. But then in your free time, just develop the skills which will let you eventually get into a good paying job which you which you consider worthy of yourself. Like that's the thing which you can do. It's all in your hands. And one more thing which I love is that no one is coming to save you and no one is coming to save me. We have to go and work and save ourselves, or else we will just have that menial life of like always being stressed about money and never actually being able to live our life, and then eventually cursing our parents, then cursing our kids, and then cursing ourselves when we are on our deathbed. So that's something which you can do and which I also can do. Like right now, I am actually doing the work which is needed. I am showing to the world that I am working. That this live stream is a proof of me working, of doing these questions, of struggling to first 800 rated questions, then 900 rated questions, and eventually go. going to become a candidate master. Like people will be able to see the journey, they will be able to relate. So that's about me. No, and I've wasted a lot of time. I will get back. But make sure that you also work hard and you don't lose hope. You shouldn't lose hope. It's your life and you can do whatever the fuck you want to do if you just work hard and don't give up. Like that's the thing you should always keep in mind that if you just work hard long enough, you will be able to achieve what you want, no matter how worse your situation is right now. So yeah, I'm trash at development to be honest, and I also need to fix that. Like we are cooked, why? I know I knew that the day I entered my college, I knew I was cooked. Like the day the first class actually started, I knew I was cooked. And I know that you have the like you are facing the difficulty, but just search online. Like there are many people. Like I always see that like no why I won't tell my college. I just feel ashamed of just even say of associating myself to that college. And you might shouldn't just lose hope because off campus scene is cooked because I obviously know that jobs always were cooked if you weren't able to display your skills or if you weren't able to find the right opportunities. And you shouldn't get disheartened because there are many tier three students who eventually reach FANG companies or even HFTs. Like obviously the scene of HFTs is way worse than a FANG, but there are students who still reach that despite having that same issues which we as tier three students face. But yeah, I know. It, um, yeah, I shouldn't just say like tier three. I'm blabbering, बता तो रहा हूँ. I'm just blabbering. I'm not thinking before saying my words. Oh, my college, it's BVD, and if you search about the full form, it's so cheap, bhai. It feels like an old age. Like it's always obviously a name. The name of the founder is kind of old. He was old and he died, but still, why? You both can, sit in sorrow. Mm, yeah, it is what it is. I obviously, if I don't get a job after 4 years, to be honest, I don't even care that much about getting a job. Like, I don't want to be comfortable and just have a good job and then just keep on living my life. Like, my goal is to eventually be a startup founder. I need to be a CEO. That's my dream. And you might say that it's one of those cliches that everyone says nowadays, but I do admire Elon and Steve Jobs a lot. and I'm highly inspired by them. Yeah, that's something which I was also considering that I should actually. I was actually considering that first I should like in the next 1 month I should come up with a good resume and then just start code emailing founders and HRs and different people on LinkedIn and Instagram and actually applying to internships because most of the 2027 internships have started to come. And I was actually taken aback because it's still July of 2026 and I never knew that they come 1 year prior. So that's the point. That's the issue. Like now I have to work really, really hard and actually work on this. There is a side project of mine which I also work a lot at. I will show you. It's completely irrelevant to coding, but this is my Substack. And I've been actually writing since 1 year, and I have grown it to only 44 subs. It's kind of shameful, I guess, but it's still mine, and I wrote all this, so it's a kind of side hobby of mine, which takes a lot of hours. Like GSOC, right? I was thinking, like I saw that Harikrat video, and he said that uh, for 2027 GSOC that time is running out, and I was such a fucking idiot that I didn't even like see it. I didn't open the video. Why? Because I didn't have time. I was doing something else. And that's the issue. Like there is always something else to do. There's something better which I could do. And I just didn't open the video. So yeah, that's a good reminder from you that I should actually go and watch that video and understand that how could I make myself capable of participating in the next year's GSOC. Yeah, I should get back to coding. It is given a positive number in one move. No, I already done this. It's given a positive integer and one with So obviously we won't be able to get a linear approach because it's 10 to the power 18 and t is already 10 to the power 4, so we have number of operations around 10 to the power 4. Okay, just guarantee that for each n occurring in the input, the answer exists. It is guaranteed that the n number n has no leading zeros. For each test case output on a separate line and integer k should be greater than 0. The minimum of number of steps to get a number such that it is divisible by 25 and positive. It is given a positive integer n. In one move, one can select any single digit and remove it. In one move, one can select any single digit and remove it. already 7345. You can move the digits 7 3 4 1 3 4 to get the number 75. And in the third case, we can remove 9. You have to get the minimum number of steps. Get a number such that it is divisible by 25 and positive. Divisibility by 25 is the last divisibility by 25. Thanks, man. Oh, it's simple. Uh, we can start from the last digit and no, we can't do that. Oh, no, we can. Convert this to equals to. This is, I think this should be minus 1 and should be greater than 0. uh, if temp is equal to 0, 0, temp is equal to 20, 25, and is equal to 50. Is there any hint that it doesn't work. One, it doesn't work. One, it doesn't work. One, it doesn't. But I have to reduce these three lines. Like I got a new idea. Let's see the cheapest. So I if if CH plus is equal to CH is equal to 5 or 0. CH is equal to 5 or CH is equal to 0. Now, so then into J equals to 5 minus 1. J is greater than or equal to 0 uh, subset like gas pH plus sub J is of CH2 CH2 equals to 0257. So I'm thinking, I guess, like tough algorithm again. Like, CH2, like if it's 5 and then the last character is 7, then is 4, 4 minus 0, which is 3. So there is 3 characters between them. Like 4 na 0, 1, 2, 3. 0, 1, 2, 3 into. So 4 minus 0 minus 1. So j minus I minus 1. Minus I minus 1 answer. Minus I minus 1. Uh, break, break, answer equals to j minus I minus 1. And like if it's like if 7 and it like for first of all 7 won't even get executed, so I don't have to think about it. Like for 5 like I also need to do j minus minus. 3 minus minus. Now, if it's 5 and then no, but that won't work because if it's 0, then we will have two cases that it should be 5 or 0, and if it's 5, then there is 2 or 7. That's something which I didn't think about. Like this doesn't has this can't be the solution. It shouldn't get this long. What is that solution? 59. Is there a sliding window approach uh, that we have to make? Uh, like all we need to do is find the first letter and the second letter, and then the issue is like the first is there and the second is there, and the next case both are there, and in the next case both are there. Sorry. If it's 5, then I think this should work. This should actually work. Like apart from jokes, if CH2 is equal to 0 and this is for 0, so 0 or 5. Fuck. CH2 is equal to 5. Like this is, I think part of it is a bit redundant, but right now I'm just trying to solve the problem. I will optimize it later. Hmm. And then we have to here and end of line. I hope this at least works. Uh, so just have I taken this to be number? Who will write num every time? You name it as this. Uh, there should be absolute right. Uh, Obviously, because j will be smaller, so I either do I minus j minus 1 or we can just write absolute and stop even thinking about it. Uh, Answer is coming 222. Like, what did it even find? Like in 100, it's CH is 0. So I is j of I minus 1. If CH, char CH is if char CH is equal to 0, it is, which means J is I 0, 1, 2. So J is uh, uh, I minus J minus 1 should be the correct. Like just write that. I minus J minus 1. Oh, and 5 for this case, the answer is 1. Expected output is 1. No, it's working for this and this. For this, the expected output is 1. Okay, so let's and I n minus 1 char ch is s of I. If ch is equal to 5, which isn't, and it's also not equal to this, so it's I minus minus. Then ch is equal to then ch where is like 5. Okay, so it gets here. Then for int j I minus 1. J should be greater than equal to 0, j minus minus. Char ch2 is s of j, which is char ch is then equal to 2. If char ch2 is equal to 2, answer is minimum of answer, comma, absolute, comma, I minus j minus 1. So in this array, I is 0, 1, 2, I minus j minus 1. So I is 0, 1, 2, j is 1, minus 1. It's coming to be fuck 0. Okay. So in these cases, there should also be an answer plus plus because the number of integers which have already been deleted, that's also, should I take a separate variable for that? Yeah, I should actually do a separate variable for that and just add it in both conditions. Enter all deleted, delete, delete, zero. After every test case, all delete plus plus and plus of all delete and then plus of all delete. Ah, but I still don't think that this will pass like the test cases. I just have a gut feeling 1593B, 159, 1593. Or it might work as well. Like, which shouldn't all. Ah, yeah, it worked! It worked. Oh, fuck. I am jacked. So, yeah, it worked. Now we just have to see, like, what's the optimal solution for this problem. Hmm. Oh, bye. Number A is divisible by 25 if and only if its last two digits represent one of the following strings. Let's solve for a string. The following subset. What is the minimum number of additivity leads to that between the suffix of the number, suffix of the number. Last item, choosing the minimum of the answer for all tasks. For a string choice where x, y are digits. We can do it using the following. Let's read the last digit of the number until it is equal to y. Then the second to last digit of the number until it is equal to x. If it's not possible, then this subtract has no solution either, so the not shift the answer. That's INF means. Right, this is a very complicated solution. Or the worst case, let's see what he did. Number of equal number value again value. Check our index. Check our index equals to possible value size dot. Uh, okay, so he did actually make uh, empty and it was a string. Okay, so I wasted a lot of my time there. Oh, the user never like he doesn't have the power. I've just taken another string, yes. Possible value 0 to 25, 50, 75, yes. Answer int max, yes. For uh, uh, auto possible value of possible values, answer is main of answer comma main operation n comma possible value. So basically they're trying to find, right? Int operations equals to 0 and checker index equals to possible value dot size minus 1. Okay. I equals to n minus 1, I minus 1. If n of I is equal to possible value of checker index. Checker index is basically uh, uh, possible value is this possible value checker index minus minus is checker index. Let's just ask Lord ChatGPT for our question. For this question, this was my answer. What do you think of it? Then here's my teacher's answer. I actually syllabus is a bit complicated. Nah, it will be why. Suppose we are going to make 255, you could find last five, then search for 2, you immediately find 2 at index 0. Fuck you, bhai. ChatGPT is biased towards the teacher. It doesn't like mine solution. Because in every case, that 2.5 will be the actually the minimum because it's shrinking the gap like this. And now let's discuss about like first my approach, and then I will then we will both understand uh, what uh, the teacher did, right? Where is the solution? Where is it? 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. Wait, wait, let's go back. So for what I did was basically I used two loops, and for if I the first character is like there can be only two first characters, either a five or a zero. Like so, if I first check if ch of is five or if it's zero. If it's five, then I check from I minus one. So like if this is the first five, then I check from here four. And I checked it till CH2 is either 7 or 2. Why? Because if the first letter is 5, then there can be only two possible cases. This and this. Like in only in these two cases can we have a number which is divisible by 25. So I checked for 7 or 2 specifically. And if I found them, I just did the answer of minimum answer, comma ABS I minus A minus 1. This will give me the number of characters between them, and then I would need the last number of characters which I need to delete. But what about the first number of characters which I also need to delete? If it's 5 and then 2 minus 1 equals to 0, the answer should be uh it should be 2, right? Like one, two, and three. Like why one only? Like yeah, one because also yeah. Sorry, we don't actually need to delete the first ones because it's not asking the exact 25 75. It's asking the numbers which are divisible, and if the last two characters are either 00, 25, 75, 50, then it will be. So yeah, my approach is actually correct. I'm just a dumb human being. And regarding ALDEL, it's basically it means that it's a short form for the word uh, short form for already deleted, which means that after like if like for in this case if the ch was 9, it was not equal to 5 or 0, then rdel is plus plus, which means we have already deleted 5. Like there is no possible case in which 9 will be in a solution. So that it's and like then if you think that there is a 5, CH is 5, we go inside. J minus 1 is 2, right? So I minus 1 is 2. So J also meets the criteria. Then answer is I minus J plus minus I minus J minus 1 plus R. 2 minus 1, which is 0, right? Because between 2 and 5, there are no characters between 2 and 5. So that's correct. And then Ardal is the first character which we already deleted, right? So that's the use of Ardal in this situation. One thing which I think which I could optimize is I could directly just ask for S instead of first asking for a long one because the user doesn't have the privilege. Like in lead code, that's the issue that we have to change it, but in Codeforces we don't have to. So I would remember that as well. And now we should actually see the approach. Uh, and so many of these, like I'm smart enough to at least be able to understand this problem. By the way, his solution is logically a bit faster because it's big O of a big O of 80 and mine is big O of 361. But like at that point, who cares? My space complexity was basically zero, and he has a space complexity. So let's understand. Like he took an input n, then he created a character possible value 00 this, then answer int max for all auto possible values like for 00 answer we have to check like the possible value is 00 here like the first case, then operations is 0. What is this? What the fuck is this? Check or index in possible index minus 1. Okay, so it's basically 0, 1. The size is 2 minus 1, so checker index is on 0. I equals to n dot size minus 1. N is the original string. Let me get a string. Okay, we can't get a string. Like 3259. Just take 3259 as an example. Okay. So n of I is equal to possible value of checker index. If yes, then checker index minus minus. And if checker index is less than 0, like there can be a case, great. Or if not, then operation should be plus plus. And eventually, if n of I is equal to possible value, then we have to do checker index minus minus, like here it will be. And then we will go again. And for 2, if n is equal to possible value, which is uh, like obviously this is the case for 00, but if we took the case for 25, then this would have worked and we would have come out of the loop. And if checker index is greater than equal to 0, operations is int max, because like the checker index, because there were like uh, 2 and 5 were separately in the string. And if not, then return operations. Then we can just check if it's minimum or not. So yeah, that's also a great approach. I actually like my approach as well. It's not as cool, but it works, right? It's not as cool, but it works, and whatever works should be great. So let's tackle the third problem. This looks like a simpler problem, but obviously no problem is simpler. Yeah, but can we delete the number of molecules for the like this? Maybe it's the and this like it's 6 and then 8. So this is actually 7, 3, 2, 6.7. And then I think this should also be 7, right? Like 1, uh, like 1, and then, okay. So it's, wait a minute. It's sum of an amp. So sum of an empty subsequence is 0. Achha, like, okay, okay. You get it? So for this, there are 4 subarrays. How? 3200. So 3 and 6, 7, and 3 to 5, 3 to 5, and 6, 7. Sorry, it was 7. But so it's 2, 3, 5. No, it's 7. Now this can be a case, and this can be a case, and then 3, 2, and 1 can be a case, and then 1, 2, 3 can be a case. Okay. So in this, the answer should be actually 1 and 2. No, why is the answer 4? The number of zeros like 3 to 5 and 6. So our answer is 320, but then 3 to singular, and like each zero increases the answer by 2. 3 to 320, 3 to other 0, 3200. This should work, right? This should work. I'm hopeful it will work. Let's take some random cases because I'm not entirely sure about this algorithm at all. Let me even find some test cases on my own. Answer 034567184 है 0345671 दूसरा हो गया 0345670 then 0345671 then I think all the test cases have been taken. The first zero, now only with the second zero, 0345671 3456710 and then yeah, so once equals to 2, answer equals to 2, then every time this is 0 is 2 times, so 2 into 2 into 2, so it's 8, and 8 is the answer. We have done it, we have solved the question. 15828. I just hope that there is not any case of TLE. But how can there, like there can actually, because I didn't do the entire array. It's solved, right? It's solved. What are you doing? Uh, it's 10 to the power 60, so it should work. And I've taken an int I, which will work, right? Because I've not multiplied anything. Ah, oh, Holy Spirit. P is 1000 and N is 60. How can there be a time limit exceeded? Like that shouldn't. If that's not, that's that's bizarre. That, how can there be a TLE in such a solution? Kavi on pairing duty? 1528B. It's 1582. Fuck me. We did it. We actually solved a div 2 question which was pre-rated. We are getting better. We are getting better day by day. So let's first discuss my approach, and then we will look at the solutions, the intended solutions which we should have gotten. By the way, how many? My screen froze. No, it didn't froze. For a moment, I was scared that my screen froze. What about if you want to get better than Oh, he's from Triple IT Delhi, and he has done a lot of CP. Like in a span of uh, around 8 months, he wasn't even code. Yeah. Basically, he was coding much. So from March to April, he was able to get this high. This is the difference between. It's 14, so it's tomorrow basically. By the way, I wasn't able to give yesterday's contest. I was fucking doing. I was just moved on. Really don't. Well, you don't expect one. Oh, why? I want. I will be able to perform. I've read the contest rules. Not to violate the rules. Not familiar with the part for you. Sufficient. So yeah, now let's get back. Let's get our focus back to the problem, right? I will actually be live streaming this this contest. Obviously not the solution, but my the me actually doing doing this contest. So sequence if the sum of array between sequences, like there is a five digit array, right? And then this lunatic he considers a subsequence as nearly full if its sum is just less than the sum of all digits. Like if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then the sum of all digits is 15. And he considers that if we can get, if through any subsequence of digits, we can get the sum as 14, then that means that subsequence is actually nearly full. So basically, we have to get the digits whose sum will be equal to s minus I, where s is the sum of all digits. Now, in this, I actually thought about a lot of test cases and about these test cases, and I saw that if, like, for example, for every one, the answer increases by one, right? Because everyone there gets a new opportunity that we can interchange it with another, like we can either don't use it or we can interchange it, so it increases the problem solution by one, right? Then the next thing I learned was that for every zero the answer gets multiplied by 2. You can see this in the solution that the answer would have been 1, right? Because if we don't use this, we get this. But there is this also. So for every 0, the answer gets multiplied by 2. Then we just simply had to count. After these two observations, we simply had to count the number of zeros, number of ones, add the number of ones to the answer, and till the zeros were count of 0 was 0, we had to just multiply the answer by 2. And this works on these two test cases. Like if you think about it, the ones is 1, so the answer is 1. Then the number of 0 is 2. So for the first test case, it 1 multiplies 2, which is answer is 2. Then 0 minus minus, which is 1. Then again, the answer is multiplied by 2, and then 0 minus minus. So 2 into 2 is 4, and this is working. And you can even think about it, because for every zero there are either two cases that you either take it or you don't take it. But for a one, there is only just one test case that you can't take that, right? You can't take that. So that's the thing. Like now I understand why this was given. Now let's read the tutorial and we move on. Or more better, we can read the solution from Sir as well. Uh, I have already done. Or I problematic species. It's an irritated problem. No, it's this. Therefore, CNT0. Oh, he basically did this in one go. But if CNT0, it's two, one. Makes sense, right? So you have to multiply it every time. It can be noticed that all the subsequences with sum s minus 1 appear if we erase some zeros from the array and also erase exactly one. We can independently calculate the number of ways to erase some zeros from the array this way that the sum will remain the same. When calculate the number of ways to erase exactly one from the array, then multiply these two numbers. Therefore, the answer is 2C0.C1 where C0 is the number of zeros in the array and C1 is the number of ones. So basically, he did what we did, right? Basically, he did what we did, just in a much fancier way. He executed our problem. I'm curious to see like how uh, yes, not really did multiply ln cmp0. What does this mean? Well, AC. The number one as a long on left shift by c. One of is one of one is two, one of two is four, one of three is eight, one of four is 16. So in general, it's one of k is 2 to the power k, right? Uh, one of k is 2 to the power, which we should know. One is an int and one LL is a long log. Okay. And he would have also taken CNT as long. No, he didn't take. Uh, can't we use one slash three to compute eight instead of one LL? It's not safe basically. Because LL is like 64. So yeah, that's the reason, right? That's the reason that basically one costs one and then the right, yeah, right should, right? one and then right shift of the particular value, one right shift k gives out 2 to the power k. And we simply write 1 of LL because we don't know if the value becomes bigger very fast. And that's why we do that because one LL is 64 bit and one is an integer which is only 32 bits. 32 bits, yes. Let's do the last question and then we will end today's stream. I'm actually also curious to see how it is doing. Add y. I are all this GCD buttons. 30 minutes. Make the race interesting. You have bet $8 and Ronnie has bet $3. But the fans seem to be disappointed. The excitement of the fan is given by GCD A, B, where GCD excitement GCD A, B. In the race, you can perform any two operations. Make race exciting. Increase both 1 and 2 by A equals to A plus 1, B equals to B plus 1, and decrease both A and B. Uh, A minus 1, B minus 1. Obviously, if A is greater than 0 and B is greater than 0, then only this can be performed. In most in one move, you can perform any of these operations. You can perform arbitrarily possible number of zeros, determine the maximum excitement the fans can get, and the minimum number of moves required to achieve it. So हमें find करना है. We have to find uh, the maximum amount of excitement fans can get. In that case, minimum amount of moves required to achieve it. The first line of input contains a single integer t. The first line then apply the operation 1 times 9 6. It can be shown that 3 is maximum excitement possible. Okay, because uh, GCD of 3. GCD of 3. 8, comma 5 GCD would have been 1. GCD of 9, comma 6 would be 3, and GCD of 10, comma 7. Okay, 1, comma 2. The maximum can be 1, comma 2. So it's 1, then 2, comma 3. It's 1, then it's 3, comma 4, 1. So in any case, it's 1 and 0. So then 4, comma 4. The maximum GCD will always 5. And somehow it's an infinite case because we can always increase GCD and like it will keep on increasing because like first it's 4 4, then it's 5 5, then it's 6 6. So GCD will keep on increasing. Then it's 3 comma 9, uh, 6 6. The maximum GCD will be 6. Okay. There is something which you can notice. There is a uh, bit of a relation here that the maximum GCD is just the difference between these two characters. You just see like both of them. So LL max GCD is equals to absolute of A minus B. I might be wrong, obviously. And then now we have to think that how can we make this achievable? The difference is 3. Then let's talk uh, temp GCD is not equal to max GCD. Uh, First, let's take the temp GCD. Uh, LL temp GCD is equal to GCD of A comma B, and then LL steps is 0 for now. If it's not, then A plus plus comma semicolon B plus plus, and then we compute GCD equals to GCD, which is A comma B, right? And here should also be it should be GCD. And finally, we can just print these two values, GCD, some space, and then temp GCD. No, it's not temp GCD, it's the answer you need to print. Steps, basically steps plus plus, and steps end of line. I think they should work. Why Sarah Segita? Max GCD is equals to absolute value of A minus B steps, whether it can GCD A comma B and GCD is not equal to max GCD. As the solution, we will not save on my PS Code terminal. Code is large for some inputs but catastrophically slow for others. Let analyze it like it would be in a contest. We're trying to solve something like GCD is not equal to absolute of A minus B. The observation you are using is correct. The max of possible GCD after adding the same value to both is this. But your method for finding the number of strings is brute force. Okay. ChatGPT is giving us the answer which we don't actually want. What should be done? Should we try and understand it, or should we try to code it on our own? What do you think? Okay, so you don't think anything. चाय बनाओ ले आओ ना मान लो a plus k equal to a minus b equals 10 b minus k b plus uh, b minus k plus k minus b plus b. Still not able to understand this question. I will solve this tomorrow. So yeah, we'll start with this question tomorrow. Bye.